Here at BHS, the 80, 90 people that are attending have been split into two groups. So one is visiting the Schumacher factory, while the others are having the opportunity to see the Experience Hub here. And I just met Robert from DS Smith, which is also one of the big companies in the industry. So Robert, welcome here on INKISH.
Thank you very much.
And we are almost neighbors. Where in Sweden are you from?
I'm from Sundsvall, so northern part of Sweden.
Fantastic. So it's almost like getting on a Italian holiday to get to Münster, right?
Yeah, it's lovely temperature. We still have snow at home.
Fantastic. So DS Smith is, of course, one of the big names also in this amazing industry. So what is it that you do?
I'm doing the print side of the business, so I'm trying to coordinate the sites and find the proper technology and find the correct printing stations for us.
If you look at the industry and how it's, I mean, all industries are changing all the time, but if you look at the changes that we see in the market right now, what are the demands from the customers?
Well, yeah, you have a lot of different demands, of course. One is, of course, shorter order, more flexible demands, and yeah, I think what more? Two direction. One is less print. One is, I would say, more prints.
So more print is more diversified with more variations, and less print is maybe just shorter print runs, or?
Yeah, I think more to stand out on the shelf more, I would say, that kind of stuff.
So in the relationship between and your customers, is that, I mean, I guess that when your salespeople talk to customers, they are the first people that understand the changes in the market. How easy, difficult is that to get that message across to the production side?
Well, it's not easy. Of course, that local, you get that information to some extent, but then we work a lot with the larger groups, and then we have a more top-to-top line discussion. But really getting that in operation still, I would say, siloed to some extent.
Are you currently a customer of BHS?
Yes, we are.
Is that on the corrugators, or what are you working with them on?
Yeah, it's corrugated predominantly, yes.
So you decided to come here by special invitation to Münster, right? So how is it to be here today?
It's lovely. I think the setting is nice. Of course, the weather, as you mentioned, is very nice outside, and I think it's very professional speaks.
Were you aware of the box plant 25 vision from BHS in advance?
Yeah, I have had a few discussions already with BHS on the fast line and everything they presented. So it's a very interesting concept.
Do you share the vision?
Well, I think probably they are a little bit early with 2025 already saying that this is but I think definitely we need to go into more automation. We need to look what digitally we can do. So I think they are moving in the correct direction, I would say.
And if you look at BHS as a partner, because I heard from another guy just a few moments ago that there is a few major players in the corrugator market. Is that, I mean, so what is the main reason for choosing BHS as a partner? I mean, do you work with multiple suppliers, or is BHS your main supplier?
No, we work with multiple. For the corrugated side, of course, I will not really have the experience to go into detail, but I do know we work with multiple ones. So I can't tell whether you go one or other, what the benefits are or anything else.
No, I understand that. I was curious because, I mean, you know, from a layman's perspective, sometimes it can be very difficult to understand what is really the differentiator between products and suppliers. So let's move on a little bit. Robert, one of the things that they have been focusing on here is, of course, the new jetliner. And it's funny to call it new because it's been under development for years, right? But now it is operating with Schumacher. So what is your expectations for seeing that?
Well, I think it's very interesting to actually see something in production that it has been running for quite some time now, and I expect to see some good prints, hopefully some new ideas what you can do. So I think it's very hopeful for the visit and to find something new.
And what do you think of the approach of having the pre-printed on liners before you have the corrugated? Is that a good approach?
Yeah, I think it has a huge benefit in in the terms of that you can move closer to the paper surface, you can get a higher quality print by doing that, so you have a more controlled approach to it. So I think it has huge potential. It does have also a huge capacity, so you need to place that capacity somewhere. So, yeah.
Yeah, and with that huge capacity, it always comes down to how more expensive is it compared to, let's say, flexography or other printing technologies. And maybe at some point, do you think that customers will have a demand for more personalized information, or is the QR code, as they spoke about, more from a production benefit?
Yeah, I think it's more production and maybe from a legislation point of view, as they mentioned, customer demands to some extent, but I think that will not be a driver in this perspective, the variable data printing. I don't see that.
But let's say that you invest in a machine like this, not maybe specifically you, but I say somebody does, right? Would you think that a machine like this, when you buy it because you can see the benefits from a production side, but you think when you first have it, then it will drive a demand for something more?
Yeah, of course it will drive some demands, and you will figure out ways to work with it and try to sell that. Whether that part will be a large amount of the volumes that you produce or minor ones, I think that the later really. I think still need to produce the normal way of the boxes we are having today.
But it is interesting times, right?
It is definitely exciting times, and I think digital will definitely be there for the future.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Robert.
Thank you.